Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is the status of the church. And we're fortunate to have with us to talk about the status of the institutional church, or as he so aptly called it, the church of the body of Christ, Pastor KWalker, who is the pastor at the Abundant Life Christian Center North. And let me welcome you, and I think I almost got all of that right, Pastor Walker. But let me welcome you to the show this morning and to tell you how delighted we are to have you here to tell us in a real sense about the Abundant Life Christian Center North and the relationship that has to this church that we're going to talk about during the second segment of this program.
All right. Well, first of all, Dr. Haney, thank you for invited me to come on your show. Been here before, and it's always been my pleasure. You know, Pastor KWalker. I was born right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Grew up in the public school system. Didn't get a degree in anything. Had, experienced some college courses over the period of time back at TSU, and also having been incarcerated in the state prison system, I took some college courses through Trevecca Nazarene College East Campus Prison Program, and of course I didn't get a degree either in that particular area. Spent 17 years of my life as a drug addict. Then God called me into ministry back in 1986, and I've been on that trail ever since that time. I'm currently the pastor of the Abundant Life Christian Center North, and we're located at services I've been held currently at the Millennium Maxwell House Hotel at 2025 Roselle Parks Boulevard. You know, in the past, I was pastoring the Hands of God Christian Church, but we developed a partnership with Pastor Mike Whitson with Abundant Life, and we merged our ministry in with that particular body, and we've been involved with that for about a year, a little over a year now, and we're just moving forward in some things. So we're just glad and just delighted to be here this morning to share with your guests some information I feel like is important when you're looking at the status of the church and we look at society and the recession and everything that we're going through and the role that the churches, need to play during this period of time. And I'm just glad to be here to discuss those things.
Very good. And let's look at the status of the church in a real sense, Pastor Walker. In the sense that I think we indicated earlier, we're talking about no particular church. We're talking about an institutional church, and every faith has some place where it worships, and therefore and so within that sense, what are some of the issues that you find dealing with the status of the church today?
Well, I mean, the church is in a real peculiar situation right now. When you look at what the church represents, of course, that's the body of Christ, and what Christ represents himself totally, and that is to spread the love of God. So the church is in a situation where people are facing devastating problems in their lives, and the church has that role, and part of that responsibility is to find those hurting people and bring about some healing in their lives and fulfill some needs within that particular segment of our population that's experiencing all the devastation that it's doing. So the church is finding itself in a unique situation right now, Dr. Haney, whereas people have a tendency to come to church with the expectation of receiving from the church. Of course, that's not the only reason you should come. You should come as well as to give, and I'm sure we'll get into that more so in our program. I'm not talking about giving financially. I'm talking about giving of yourself and your services so that everybody within the body can experience the blessings of the body.
Well, now, when you say that people are coming to church in anticipation of what about they don't? I mean, what are some of the reasons that you find in your own ministry that sort of motivates people to become involved in the church?
Well, for one thing, people are coming to get a word of life that can change their life situation and circumstances, that help them maneuver and motivate themselves, or maneuver themselves through situations and circumstances that they're experiencing in their lives. Then you've got people that will come to church, to reap whatever material thing that they can get from the church, or whatever support they can get from the church, or whatever programs that a church may happen to offer that would take them to the next level in their living. So, there are different reasons why people come to the church. And regardless of those reasons, we have to be in position to meet those needs.
And so the church, and we're getting ready for our first commercial break. And when we come back, we'll get into what you consider to be some of the challenges that the church has to face in order to really meet the needs. Because I think that, as you've indicated, you've been involved in a number of ministries yourself.
Oh, yes.
And so you can sort of compare and contrast
Yes.
some of the things and some of the difficulties and some of the challenges
Oh, yes.
and all of the ministries that many of us don't know anything about and certainly are not familiar with. And we'll do that. We'll do that as soon as we have this first commercial break, and we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break.